Tariffs aren't just taxes, they're levers that shift economies, spark reactions, and test alliances. When President Trump rolled out new tariffs on Canadian and Mexican goods, it wasn't just about trade deficits. It triggered a domino effect across North America. Canada acted fast, Mexico made bold moves, and the US stood its ground. This isn't just a trade dispute. It's a power play reshaping North America's economic future. President Trump slapped new tariffs on Canadian steel, aluminum, and Mexican agricultural products. His goal: protect American industries and fix trade imbalances. But these tariffs don't just tweak numbers. They hit real industries, auto plants, farms, construction sites, where jobs are on the line. Trump used similar tactics in his first term, but now supply chains are fragile and the global economy is walking a tightrope. This wasn't just another policy move, it lit a fire. Canada didn't waste time. Prime Minister Trudeau hit back with counter-tariffs targeting US goods, agriculture, machinery, household products, strategic hits where it hurts American jobs. Trudeau called it measured, but make no mistake, it was precise. Across Canada, people rallied. Boycotts of US products, cancelled vacations, and a surge in support for Canadian brands. For example, Canadian farmers are shifting away from US imported equipment, while small businesses are promoting Made in Canada campaigns to boost local products. This wasn't just about dollars and cents, it was national pride in motion. Mexico went beyond tit for tat. President Claudia Sheinbaum sent 10,000 troops to the US-Mexico border, officially for security, but the timing sent a louder message. Mexico isn't just reacting, it's recalibrating. Meanwhile, Mexico sped up trade deals with the EU, China, and South America. Less dependence on the US means more leverage. Mexican avocado exporters, for instance, are exploring new markets in Asia, reducing the risk of US tariff impacts. Automotive plants in Monterrey are shifting contracts toward European suppliers. This was strategic repositioning, not just retaliation. Did the US blink? Not even close. Trump announced plans for additional tariffs if Canada and Mexico didn't meet new demands. The strategy: apply relentless pressure. But the squeeze isn't just felt abroad. US businesses are grappling with rising costs, disrupted supply chains, and mounting uncertainty. Take Michigan's auto industry. Factories report delays in critical parts from Canada, pushing production timelines back and increasing costs. Farmers in Iowa are dealing with surplus crops due to cancelled exports to Mexico. Still, Trump's message stayed clear. Hold the line. Publicly, it's all tough talk. Behind closed doors, a different story. Trump and Trudeau had several phone calls post-tariffs. After one call, Trump delayed some tariffs for 30 days. Compromise, or just tactical breathing room. While headlines shout conflict, diplomacy whispers. Negotiations reports suggest both sides are exploring phased tariff reductions, but with strict conditions attached. Amid tariff tensions, Trump tossed out a headline grabber, suggesting Canada become the 51st US state. Was he serious? Joking? Just stirring the pot? Trudeau brushed it off. Canadian leaders pushed back hard. Whether it was a distraction or deliberate, it grabbed the spotlight, at least briefly. Some analysts believe it was a calculated distraction, diverting media focus from the harsher economic realities unfolding. Beyond politics, the economic effects hit fast. US businesses face higher costs for Canadian and Mexican goods, supply. Chain disruptions ripple through industries like auto and agriculture, and export deals collapse, hitting revenue hard. In Canada and Mexico, it's the same story. Jobs on the line, businesses scrambling, economies feeling the pinch. This is more than policy. It's real life. Consider the dairy industry in Wisconsin, where producers face shrinking markets in Canada due to retaliatory tariffs. Meanwhile, Mexican farmers are shifting corn exports to European buyers, bypassing US markets entirely. Tariffs don't just raise prices, they break systems. North America's supply chains are tangled webs. A car made in Detroit, its parts might cross the border 6 times. Now each crossing means added costs, delays, and paperwork. Businesses face tough choices: absorb costs, raise prices, or find new suppliers, none of them easy. Logistics firms report increased costs as trucking routes are rerouted to avoid high tariff areas. Warehouses in Texas are experiencing backlogs due to delayed imports from Mexico. While North America battles it out, the rest of the world is busy making moves. The EU, China, South America. They're locking in deals with Canada and Mexico. New partners, new markets, less reliance on the US. For example, Canada signed a new agricultural export deal with Germany, expanding beef exports previously destined for the US. Meanwhile, China is increasing imports of Mexican avocados and electronics, filling the gap left by US tariffs. The US isn't just facing tariffs, it's risking long-term influence. For Trump, tariffs are part of the brand, tough on trade. For Trudeau and AMLO, it's about standing firm and defending sovereignty. But as businesses struggle and prices climb, voters feel the pain. Economic fallout turns into political heat. In swing states like Pennsylvania, manufacturing job losses are becoming a campaign issue. In Canada, opposition parties are using the economic strain to challenge Trudeau's leadership. Tough talk is easy. Managing the consequences is where leadership gets tested. History isn't kind to trade wars. They start fast, end messy, and leave scars. Consider the US-China trade war of the late 2010s. It led to market instability, hurt farmers, and disrupted global tech supply chains. Even after agreements were reached, economies suffered, alliances strained. Even when it's over, the damage lingers. It's not just about who wins, it's about how much everyone loses. Governments write the rules, but people feel the hits. In the US, farmers, manufacturers, and retailers are all speaking up. In Canada and Mexico, the public rallies behind leaders, demanding strength and action. Recent protests in Montreal against US products and rallies in Mexico City supporting trade diversification highlight how public sentiment is shaping government responses. When economic pressure turns into political pressure, things shift fast. Right now, it's about trade. But trade disputes have a habit of spilling over into diplomacy, security, and border cooperation. The longer this drags on, the messier it gets. Experts warn that unresolved tensions could affect issues like immigration policy, defense agreements, and cross-border environmental projects. This isn't just about tariffs. It's about who controls the future of North America's economy. The key: decisions made today will ripple through trade, politics, and alliances for years, because this isn't just about goods crossing borders. It's about influence, power, and what comes next. While trade and tariffs dominate headlines, another sector quietly feels the squeeze: tourism. Canadian travellers are cancelling trips to the US in record numbers, citing both economic strain and political tensions. In cities like New York and Miami, hotels report a noticeable drop in Canadian bookings. Travel agencies in Toronto and Vancouver are shifting promotions toward European destinations instead. On the flip side, US tourism hotspots reliant on cross-border visitors like Niagara Falls and border outlet malls are witnessing declining revenues. Some businesses have even reduced staff, anticipating fewer Canadian tourists this season. Tourism may not dominate,